calm Sunday evening in June 1977 at Camp Scott, nestled in the woodlands of Oklahoma, senseless tragedy unfolded. Just before the excitement of summer camp was about to begin, 3 young Girl Scouts from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, found themselves spending their last moments in Tent Hash 7 in the camp's remote Kiowa unit. Lori Lee Farmer, just 8 years old, Doris Denise Milner, aged 10, and Michelle Heather Goose huddled together, unaware of the horror that lurked on the cusp of the night. By dawn, the serene campsite was swallowed by a silence far more chilling than the dark of night. A counselor, on her routine walk to the showers, stepped into a scene that would haunt the memories of many for years to come. There, discarded on the path like broken dolls, were the bodies of Lori, Denise, and Michelle. The discovery was as heartbreaking as it was gruesome. 2 of the girls had been stuffed into a sleeping bag, their lives brutally snuffed out, while the 3rd lay exposed to the morning air. All had been forcefully taken, their innocence shattered in an act of unspeakable violence. Amidst the chaos and confusion that followed, a chilling piece of evidence lay silent witness, a large red flashlight perched atop the girls' bodies. The smudged fingerprint it bore offered a whisper of a lead, a specter of the perpetrator, yet it proved too enigmatic for justice's firm grip. Nearby, a size 9.5 shoe print in the blood-soaked tent further whispered of the nightmarish visitor who walked among them. While the camp slept, terror had trespassed, leaving behind a landowner's report of unusual traffic cutting through the stillness of the night. Camp Scott, once alive with the laughter of children, stood still, its innocence forever tarnished, its grounds soon to be emptied and abandoned to the ghosts of that tragic summer's night. The shadow of suspicion soon fell upon Gene Leroy Hart, a man who'd already cast a long and dark history of violence across the Oklahoma landscape. A local Cherokee, raised barely a whisper from Camp Scott's serene backdrop, Hart's past was a roadmap of criminality, leading him far from the innocent beginnings of his youth. Since his daring escape from Mays County Jail in 1973, Hart had been a specter haunting the fringes of society. His deeds had not gone unnoticed, having been marked by convictions for kidnapping, rape, and burglary. But in March 1979, despite a shroud of damning evidence and the sheriff's steadfast belief in his guilt, a jury found the grounds of certainty to be as smudged as the fingerprint left behind on that red flashlight, acquitting Hart of the heinous crimes. Regardless, fate held a different verdict for him. Within Oklahoma State Penitentiary's walls, his heart ceased to beat, just as abruptly as the lives he was accused of stealing. But the saga of injustice and sorrow did not conclude with Hart's demise. The heartbroken families sought to traverse the wilderness of the legal system, leveling a claim of negligence against the Magic Empire Council and its insurer. They demanded reparations not just in currency, but in acknowledgement of the grievous oversight that led to the loss of their daughters. It was a tumultuous trial that reignited the embers of that night, scrutinizing every distance and decision, ultimately culminating in a jury siding with the Magic Empire. Yet the question of what truly transpired in the darkened woods of Camp Scott persisted, like a persistent ember that refuses to be extinguished. Decades rolled on, and science sought to cast light on the shadows of the past. DNA, the silent sentinel of truth, was called upon to speak. In 1989, the forensic whispers suggested a link to Hart, yet this whisper was a murmur lost in the march of time. It was not until 2022, fortified by advancements in genetic detective work, that a clearer articulation of Hart's involvement emerged, nearly cementing his presence amidst the horrors of that fateful night. Yet the announcement of these results was not merely a revelation of science, but an act of respect to the victims' families, honoring their need to know, their right to remember not the brutality that befell their children, but their laughter that once filled the camp. The ripples of the Camp Scott murders reached even the highest echelons of justice, influencing landmark legal decisions. As the Supreme Court case McGirt v. Oklahoma laid new groundwork concerning crimes on Cherokee lands, fresh investigations arose, scouring for details that had long eluded the visions of the past. These new probes yielded more than just renewed interest. but a shocking prospect. A written confession, tucked away in the hands of the Cherokee Nation, and now under scrupulous examination. As the horizon of justice shifts, so does the hope that the truths of June 1977 might finally be unveiled in full light. Amidst the unending quest for answers, the story of the Camp Scott Girl Scout murders has been etched into the collective consciousness through the lenses of filmmakers and authors. The documentary Someone Cry for the Children, based on the investigative work of Michael and Dick Wilkerson, and narrated by the iconic voices of Dale Robertson and Johnny Cash, offered a haunting window into the case. And in a poignant twist of fate, Kristin Chenoweth, whose childhood was nearly intertwined with that dark chapter, lent her voice to the narrative as host of the ABC News documentary series Keeper of the Ashes. Her presence served as a somber reminder of lives forever altered and the fragile thread by which fate hangs.